to another season of The Heart of the Matter. The first episode of this season is talking about youth unemployment in Nigeria. And today as a guest, I have one of the co-founders of Jobberman, which is an online job searching agency. And his name is Olalekan Olude. Olalekan, you're already welcome to The Heart of the Matter.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you. We're going to be talking about this really thorny problem in Nigeria. Olalekan.
Yes.
We have 40 million out of a population of 160 million Nigerian youth that are unemployed. Doesn't that alarm you?
It does. It does. It's a serious issue. It's a serious issue. You know, you have friends that graduate from school and they keep sending you their CVs saying, please help me get a job, help me get a job. And 1 year down the line, still looking for a job. So it's a major issue.
Okay. Yeah. Before we go into the actual problem, let's talk a little bit about Olalekan Olude.
Yeah.
You got into Jobberman.
Yes.
And you actually started out as a graduate in computer technology.
Yes.
What brought you into Jobberman?
Okay, we're on strike. We're in school. We're on strike.
You were on strike, or the teachers?
The teachers were on strike.
So what's new?
So the three of us, that's Deji Adewumi, Okpeyemi Awoyemi, and I, felt, okay, let's do something. Let's do something that is easy, something that is cheap to start, and something that would have a lot of value on everybody that uses it. And we felt that I wanted to do something online. Right, and we felt, okay, jobs was what actually cut through everything, and we decided to go for jobs. So we started by, you know, collating jobs across the internet, and we're putting it up on our site. And later,
how did you do that?
Okay, we
I'm not asking so that somebody out there can reproduce Jobberman, but wasn't it a big task to be able to get Nigeria jobs off the internet? Or did you use other means to source the jobs? Okay,
it wasn't really much of a task at that time, right? We had very good internet in school. If I had a wireless network in school then, so we had internet. All we needed to do was to get some of our friends some of our friends we paid to help us, you know, just do some Google searches and collate all the jobs online and put it up on Jobberman. Yes.
Okay. So you had a bank of about how many jobs when you started?
At the time, we're aiming for 1,000 jobs.
Okay.
Yes. So we had but at that time we had about 350, about 400 jobs on the site, and the site was ranked about 300,000 in terms of traffic in Nigeria at that time, and within a space of 1 month, it jumped from 300,000 to about 20,000, and we're shocked because
it jumped.
Yes, that means the traffic increased.
Okay.
Yeah. At that time, where in terms of numbers of sites, in terms of visits, we're number 300,000.
Okay.
And it moved from 300,000 to about 20,000.
In the world.
Yeah, in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're shocked. And you know, what exactly happened? That means a lot of people actually need this thing. There's a problem that needed to be solved at that time.
So, like, about how many people did you have on your books who were looking for jobs?
As at that time, nobody.
Okay.
Yes. You know, we're students, right? Well, if you were to count people that come to you and just tell you that they needed a job, they needed, at that time, internship, right? I would say maybe I had maybe 10 or 15 people talking to me. Okay. Maybe another 10, 15 talking to Okpe and Deji. But for real job seekers that were out of school, none of them.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do you get people to know about Jobberman?
Okay, number one, it's jobs. Everybody's looking for a job. Okay. So basically,
if I Google jobs in Nigeria, it'll take me to Jobberman.
Yes, okay. Jobberman will be one of the search results that would come out. Yeah. So then it was jobs. People were looking for how to get jobs. So normally when you search, you come across Jobberman. Then we're able to leverage on the social network to spread the word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Social network being, for those who don't know.
Okay, Facebook, Twitter, even your BBM,
BlackBerry.
Yeah, the BlackBerry, yes.
Okay, so you were able to advertise Jobberman through those
channels.
those channels.
Yes.
Okay, let's begin to talk about youth unemployment. I'm told that 70% of Nigerians are 35 years and under.
Yes.
That's a hefty amount.
Yes.
And out of that 70%, 40 million youth are unemployed.
Yes.
Doesn't that frighten you about the future of the country? Because a country in which ostensibly it is the older people that have jobs.
Yes.
One day the older people would have passed on.
Yes.
And where would the younger people be to take up the jobs that they had?
You know, it's sometimes it looks like we're sitting on a keg of gunpowder. You have about 40 million youths out there without jobs, very restless. They have lots of energy, don't know where to put it into, and after a while, I mean, they're going to be angry against the government, angry against the polity, and by extension, you see all that happening now. You know, with everything that you hear in the news. It gives a lot of concern. It's something that we need to check.
What is it about the quality of Nigerian youth that are in the job market? What is wrong?
Let me give you a scenario. Study computer engineering. One of the courses I was taught, CSC, I can't remember, CSC 1 or something, is Fortran. Okay. Fortran, I have no clue who uses it up to now. It's totally outdated. Yes, totally outdated. The very relevant technological advancement that I guess I ever used stepping out of school was taught in part 4. That's a year to stepping out of school. Microsoft Word was taught in part 4. You know, so you can see the quality of content that, you know, we consume in our schools.
Okay, so the education
yes
is defective.
Yes.
In the sense that the content is not always relevant
yes
to the youth when they get out and are in the job market.
Exactly.
Okay, what else is wrong with our education? It's quite possible that many of the people that have degrees
yes
didn't actually earn them. Would you accept that?
Yes, I will, even though I don't have evidence to push that.
Well, we keep on hearing stories
yes
of a lot of our youth who don't sit exams themselves or who have some help. I think they call it Expo.
Yes.
They do that at undergraduate level as well.
Yes.
But they're not actually sitting the exams. And so they come out with a degree, sometimes even a first class degree, and they know nothing.
I agree with you. You know, when you look at when you leave school, you sit for JAM. In JAM, maybe someone wrote the exams for you. You step into school, right? You're in your part 1. You don't know jack. You probably steal the exam, the questions, or you bribe your lecturer, and you get into part. You write your exams. You get into part 2, and it keeps going like that. And at the end, you finish with a 2-1, and you're out of the system. And someone gets to ask you a simple question, you know, and I mean, you can answer it. Yes.
Stay tuned to the Heart of the Matter. We'll be back in a minute. We're talking to Olalekan Onude of Jobberman. See you soon.
Yeah, unemployment in Nigeria is terrible. But the situation now is we should not be waiting for government to provide job for every one of us. Yes, government will play their own part, they'll play their own role. But government can't satisfy everybody. I think it's high time the youth of now started sitting down to think of what they can do for themselves and not what Nigeria can do for them. Yes, we know there are jobs, but is it this same job we're talking about? Does it go round? Doesn't go round. And you can't keep waiting for government to come give you a job.
Youth unemployment in Nigeria is caused by the problem that has plagued Nigeria all this while, and the problem is corruption. So if Nigeria or Nigerian government can address the problem of corruption in Nigeria, I believe Nigeria is blessed with a lot of resources. So if they can solve the problem of corruption in Nigeria, I believe there will be enough resources to go about providing jobs for the unemployed youth in Nigeria.
Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter, where we're talking about youth unemployment in Nigeria. With me is Mr. Olalekan Olude, who is a co-founder of Jobberman. Now, looking at the quality of education that the people are coming out with. You know, in our little chat before we came on air,
Yes.
You said that you look at some of the work, just writing CVs.
Yes.
Just in the production of the CV, the quality.
It's nothing to write him about.
What's the cause of that? Is it that the lecturers are not motivated to teach, or is it the lecturers can't teach? What is happening? What causes our graduates to come out without really having had an education?
Most of our graduates actually lack something I would call the soft skills.
Okay.
Right? Soft skills in the sense that you want to write an email, you don't know how to write an email. You see people writing emails and like, hello sir, I beg you in the name of God. And I mean, yes, you want to beg me, but at least make it a little bit formal, right? While writing the email. You see people writing a letter.
They don't have communication
No,
skills.
the communication skills is close to zero. And you know, these things are just a reflection, like I said earlier, of the content that these students have consumed in school. And this goes out to reflecting their communication, the way they see life and the likes.
Again, with 40 million unemployed youth, we're not talking about all of them being graduates. What's the level of graduate unemployment in Nigeria? Any ideas?
I'd give it a 60%, 60-70%.
Of graduates in Nigeria?
Unemployed, yes.
Unemployed.
Yes.
In other words, you go into university with high hopes.
Yes.
And you come out of university and only 40% of you actually do get a job.
Yes.
What can we do about it?
A lot. Number one is, okay, there's something the federal government is doing currently, which is trying to get companies to hire, you know, these fresh graduates. It's called the Shopee, you know,
Okay.
yeah, trying to get graduates to, companies to hire these fresh graduates, and, you know, the government pays these companies, and, you know, this
So
graduates.
government pays them for employing people.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Another part is we need to reduce the rate at which companies fold up.
Okay.
Let me give you an instance. In Jobberman, we have tons of companies. Currently, we have about 3,000 companies using Jobberman currently.
Okay.
And while, you know, our account managers, you know, call these clients and talk to them, okay, do you have new jobs and the likes? You know, you hear some of them saying, our company is in a deeper mess now. We don't know what is happening. And you call and like, oh, I've left there, the company is down. And you see a lot of companies shutting down by the day, right? This reduces the jobs that are available for people to work, and you know, to of course work, right? And that, of course, does not increase the number of companies that are being set up in a day. You understand? So when you have job seekers coming out, that is graduates coming out of the universities, and you don't have companies to absorb them, the number has no thing to do but to increase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Olalekan for a little bit,
Okay.
just for a little while. How do you feel being in the business you are, seeing several people wanting your help to get a job and not really being able to help them because either they're not qualified enough to get a job or they just simply aren't the sort of jobs that they are qualified for out there? How does it make you feel as an individual?
You know, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I feel a lot of body pain. And the pain is not basically because of the work.
So the physical pain.
Yeah,
it's more of a
yeah,
stress.
exactly. It's more of the stress. You feel you're doing so much, right? You're doing so much to ensure that the guy on the street, the guy that is on Jobberman, sees this job and fits the job. But even at that, you still have so much to do to ensure that that happens. You know, you do so much and you see very little result from this. You like I mentioned earlier, you have so many, so there are so many jobs there, right? But to fill that position is another issue, and you realize that we have a gap. you know, and you're looking for that guy that does not have a job now that can fill that position, and you spend months. I've seen positions where we spend like 6, 7, 10 months looking for that guy to fill that position.
Oh, you mean you have positions
Yes.
that you just can't fill because
Yes.
you don't have adequate people?
Yes.
Tell me, how does Jobberman make its own money?
Okay, so we charge companies.
Okay.
When companies give us these jobs, they pay some amount to put the jobs on the site. That's one. Then we provide civil services and job seeker products to job seekers to ensure that they get job alerts, you know, right on time.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you in a minute.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about how we can get more jobs into the market for our youth.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to the Heart of the Matter. We'll be back in a minute. We're talking to Olalekan Olude of Jobberman. See you soon.
Okay, the private sector, I think there should not be, there's this differential or disparity that they bring into the sector. That the differential should be taken off. Let everybody have the same level playing ground, so that this one will not say I'm a BSc holder and the other one will say I'm an HND. There's that great discrimination in the private sector. The government, yes. The government, now we've discovered that it is man no man. I think that should be completely taken off. Give the job to someone who merits it, not because my father or my brother is in this sector, I will give that person the job. I think that would do.
The private cannot do anything much except the government produce a level playing ground for the private body to strive. So, but for the meantime, the private can also, you know, on their own part, provide the job they can provide for the youth. You understand? But the government have to set the pace of setting the level playing ground for the private to strive.
Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter, where we're talking about youth unemployment in Nigeria. With me is Mr. Olalekan Olude, who is a co-founder of Jobberman, an online employment agency. Olalekan, I think most of our viewers and most Nigerians are particularly concerned about the fact that so many youth are out of work. We've talked about the problems of the youth and the quality of their qualifications.
Yes.
But now let's look at the other side of the equation, the market, the job market. It just simply isn't there. What can government, what can we as individuals, what can we do to create jobs for these people?
Okay, the first thing is this. On the government side, I'll talk about one thing that is lacking, I think I've mentioned earlier, which is power. You'd realize that most of the businesses in Nigeria run on generator. And as a result, that consumes a lot of the cash that would probably go into, you know, the business and expanding the business and the likes. And this has a profound effect on the business as a whole.
Now, what about just developing? Because Nigerians are very enterprising. Nigeria is a country of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
A man has a mobile phone and he's got a business center.
Yes.
He can sit on a stone by the roadside and he's doing business.
Yes.
You know, Nigerians find it easy, but what about the enabling environment? How can an enabling environment be created apart from power?
Yes.
Because we all accept that. What else can be done to create an enabling environment that will allow the youth to be able to work for themselves if they can't get employment?
Okay, for example, a way, you know, youths, for example, that have ideas and want to implement these ideas, a way to actually get them started is to create incubation centers. For example, there's like an technology incubation center somewhere in Yaba called CC Hub, where youths can actually go. If you're a programmer and you have this idea, you can go there. You have free internet. All you need to bring is probably your computer. You know, there's free power.
So I need to understand about this incubation center because
Yes.
it sounds like a very good idea. it is where, I mean, is there a danger that you go to an incubation center and somebody can steal your idea and use it themselves because they have the resources that you don't? Or what happens at an incubation center?
Well, in an incubation center, before you come in, when you have an idea, right, you basically use your computer, right? You work with your computer. The shared resource that you're being given is something that can, that does not like pretend any danger to you. You have the internet, you have the power, you still work on your computer, you write your codes, you try to test it, you share minds, right? If it's good, you have a team that you're working with. If it's good, then you can push it out to the world.
Is there a problem when it comes to the internet and the fact that we're operating from Nigeria, within the reputation Nigeria has for internet scams? Is there a problem?
Yes, there is. I mean, no doubt about that, there is, right? But when you have a business, for example, right, and the business is doing well, right? That business, the name of the business, right, precedes yours, in the sense that, the investor, for example, knows about the business first before you. The investor would say, oh, okay, there's this business XYZ doing this. Who is the founder? Who are the founders, or who are the co-founders of this business, and come after you, right? Yes, we have a bad whatever, but of course, legal would take care of all those parts. And I must also say, right, that in most businesses in Nigeria, we lack corporate governance, and that is actually affecting, even shops that want to set up businesses.
Okay. Yeah. So the impression that is created of Nigeria, because we don't have good corporate governance,
yes,
is that people are wary of doing business.
Yes.
Just another quick question about people getting access to Jobberman. In a day of internet, how many Nigerians actually have access to the internet so that they can get access to you? Do you have a very widespread base of clients in terms of the people looking for jobs? Are they restricted by the fact that they don't have access to the internet?
Okay, if we have about 40-something million mobile phones in Nigeria, okay, the assumption is that most of these mobile phones have access to the internet, because you can just buy 1,000 naira data plan on MTN, Glo, or whatever, and I mean, you can connect to the internet, right? And we've realized over time that most Nigerians access Jobberman from their website and from their mobile phone. And what that basically means is that if you have a phone, then you're connected.
Yeah, yeah. I have an automatic concern with the fact that if the youth are unemployed today,
yes,
it means that everybody is unemployed in the future. It means that if we don't take care of our youth today, we are storing up massive problems, yes, for ourselves in the future.
Yes.
So what can you say to the young man or woman who is unemployed out there, who's been looking for a job? What can you say to them today that will give them the courage and the confidence to say, I will get a job eventually?
Okay, so let me say something. Let me break their heart first by telling them that, see, assume the government is not going to help you. That's the first truth. So you have to take, you have to get on the street and look for a way by which you can actually solve your problem yourself. Now, by saying solve your problem yourself, I'm not saying you should, carry a gun or something, right? What I'm basically saying is you have to sit down and analyze yourself and look at how you can fit what you want to achieve, right? Now, if you believe that the government cannot help you, then you have to look for ways through which you can sell yourself to a would-be employer. And one of those ways is, you have to
acquiring the right skills,
volunteer, probably take a salary cut, there are different ways through which you can do these things. So if you don't have a job now, right? If you don't have a job now and you want to get a job, right? You need to basically acquire these skills. You know what you want to become, right? You know what every role entails. If you want to be a computer engineer, you know what a computer engineering graduate should have. Apart from your BSc, you probably need maybe CCNA or Microsoft or whatever. Get some certifications. I know it costs some money, but there's also return on investment for these things, right? So it's like you're investing in your life. You're not going to lose the money, right? So so that's one of the things that I think they should do.
So there is plenty of hope out there for our youth if you're ready. And I think that just to add to what Olalekan has said, we must also bounce what we've reflected of ourselves on somebody else.
Yes.
Somebody that is trustworthy,
yes,
who will tell us the truth.
Yes.
That, you know, you're not being realistic if you're going down this line. This looks more like what you should be thinking of. It's been great having you watch this episode of the Heart of the Matter. Olalekan, it's been wonderful having you with us.
Thank you.
We will be back again next week with another episode of the Heart of the Matter. Until then, God bless.